I thought Commander Cherenkov was here with you.
What's the matter?
Well, he skipped dinner again, so I've been looking for him.
Did you check outside? He mentioned something about finding a charter flight.
Wait a minute. Wearing that uniform?
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad. This area was abandoned by the government and never properly restored after the war. The people here haven't forgotten how violent the military was, though. It's no place for a soldier to be wandering around.
Is it really that dangerous here?
Well, it's fine if you're a civilian.
Well, in that case, we better go find him before anything happens.
Yeah, you're right. I'll go get Ziggy. He'll probably come in handy at a time like this.
All right. I'll go with Alan then. He doesn't look very useful, though.
Goddamn, that boy been cooked. We start our search for Ziggy, but first we must of course read our emailage. This one's from Vector First R&D. They're sending us help in the form of a new tech attack for Cosmos, our drill. After this, Shion has a conversation with her fucking phone about how the Gnosis appear to be getting stronger the more capable people are becoming in combating them. Talking to Momo, we find that Ziggy is on the lower floor, so that's where we head. We find him in the maintenance lab and ask him to follow us. He says the commander should be fine, but Shion explains that the people here no likey the military, and he's very obviously military. As a reminder, the war that ravaged this colony was the Miltian conflict, and the primary parties involved was the Federation and the UTIC organization. It took place mostly on Old Miltia, which Shion is originally from. You might also remember that Commander Cherenkov is currently a member of both those organizations. Heading back up with Ziggy in tow, we run into Hammer by the airlock. He's going out alone since Alan was crying over his food in the cafeteria. I'm not even gonna give you a cut counter for that one. It's just sad. Poor boy. We split up and are free to look around this small colony. We learn from one lady that this place used to be what's called a Realian nursery, presumably a place where Realians are created, but after the war it became a simple dock. With an influx of refugees and no help from the Federation, it became something of a den for outlaws. Outside of a clinic, we run across this lady complaining about her husband's fishing addiction. Don't know where you fish in a place like this, but maybe they're visiting, whatever. She says he lost his fish detector, which is highlighted in the dialogue box, so that tells us that there's a side quest of some kind. Talking to her a few more times reveals she left the detector in his tuxedo pocket, which is currently getting cleaned on the Foundation. That isn't here, so I guess we'll steal it if we ever go to the Foundation. Inside the clinic, we ask around about the commander, but mostly hear about a girl named Luti, who used to live on Ariadne, the planet that disappeared at the start of the game. Her parents were still on the planet when it went poof, so she's living here with the doctors and appears to have shut down, unable or unwilling to talk to anyone. In the back, we find the girl, who indeed doesn't say anything. Well, the commander isn't here, so we head to the shop. He isn't here either, but there is a lot of good shit in the shop. So much so that we can't afford every upgrade with our current stash of money. We pick up some weapon and armor upgrades and head down some stairs in the shop. This appears to be a storage area of some kind, so of course we just indiscriminately start blowing shit up. At the end of it, we find segment address 2. Commander ain't here, so we go back to the docks and head deeper into the colony.
You Federation scum!
So, before we go rescue the commander, there's an email that's very easy to miss. If we head down just a little bit, we miss it forever, in fact. But if instead we head back into the clinic and stand between the seats, we get an advertisement for a Pac-Man game. Pac-Man World 1500 on the Dream Vision. So basically, Namco is still around making games and has made 1500 Pac-Man World games, okay. But also, Kazuya Mishima, specifically from Tekken 4, has become his own sentient being. The plot truly thickens. Heading back down, Hammer stops us and informs us that instead of helping the commander, he just ran away like a pussy and leads us to him.
Shion, we must get these people to a hospital at once. They're still alive, but barely hanging on.
Huh? I'll go call an ambulance.
This is terrible. Where's Commander Cherenkov?
I'm detecting a faint heat signature heading toward the dock. It most likely belongs to the commander.
Commander.
That's enough.
But, Commander! Are you okay?
Yeah.
What happened?
I got cornered by some street punks. But they started fighting amongst each other, so I ran away during the commotion.
You got cornered?
It's all right. It's really not that bad.
That's not true. I've been trying to treat his injuries, but he won't let me.
I'm sorry. It's just, I'm not a big fan of nanosurgery.
You prefer natural healing?
No, that's not what I mean.
Momo, I need your help over here. I haven't had a tune-up since the battle on Proloma. Some of my parts may be a little worn out.
Okay. All systems are working within their normal parameters.
I'm behind on my regular maintenance. This body's getting pretty old.
Not at all. But you know, you may be better off if Shion were to look you over.
You may find this funny, but even with a body like this, I still feel uncomfortable about a young woman working on me.
But there are plenty of human female doctors, aren't there?
Well, I'm embarrassed of this patchwork mechanical body. I'm being silly, aren't I?
But you're all right with me because I'm not human?
That's not what I meant. It's just that I feel comfortable around you, but that's probably because of the purity of your heart. And not because I see you as an object.
Thank you. I'm so glad.
How I envy you.
Huh?
No, it's nothing.
I wonder if the commander's really all right. He's been acting strangely ever since we boarded the Elsa.
Yeah, I don't think the commander's doing alright either. After saving, we get an email letting us know that there's a new simulation in the EVS, that being the UTIC battleship. That's the one that we were in as Junior, so it's weird Shion's getting it now, but whatever. We've gone over the gamey nature of these. Shion's phone is popping off as we head up to the elevator for another email. This one's from Vector R&D and is our reward for choosing to invest in them. They're giving us a new sub-weapon for Cosmos called the FB Shot. By downloading the attachment, we somehow acquire this powerful single-target beam weapon for Cosmos that replaces her chain gun. And you know what? We've put it off long enough. Let's learn how you play this fucking game. Winning battles in Xenosaga rewards you with experience points, as well as ether points, skill points, and tech points. Experience points, well, you can probably guess what they do. They level up your characters. Characters in reserve do get experience points, but at a slower rate than those in battle. Leveling up a character increases their statistics, though each character has a different rate at which these statistics increase through leveling up. Let's go over those statistics. HP is pretty self-explanatory. It's the number what if it goes down too much, you lose the video game. EP, or ether points, I've already explained, are used to cast ether skills. Each ether skill or spell has an EP cost that you need to currently have to use the ability. Strength helps determine how much damage a character does with physical attacks. Physical attacks are colored blue in battle and typically are close range, though there are many exceptions. Primary weapons will have a strength value associated with them that adds to the character's strength statistic when equipped, but that doesn't factor into anything other than damage caused in battle. And this is how it works for any armor or accessories that increase other statistics as well. Vitality opposes strength, reducing damage taken by physical attacks. Again, generally if an enemy goes up and hits our characters with something, it is probably a physical attack. Ether attack acts the same way strength does for physical attack, but with ether attacks. Ether attacks are red, purple? I don't know, I'm colorblind, but it's this color in battle and are typically but not always ranged. For guns and the like, weapons that use bullets or missile projectiles are generally physical, while energy beams are ether. Ether attack also increases both the damage and healing of ether spells. Ether defense is, well, it's your defense against ether attacks. Works the same way as Vitality does, but for ether. Dexterity is essentially a character's accuracy and determines their chance to hit. This is opposed by their target's evasion, which our characters also have, which determines their chance to dodge attacks. Finally, we have agility, which essentially determines a character's speed in battle. The higher their agility, the sooner they'll appear in the little window down there that shows the turn order. Agility is also notable, however, as being the only statistic not able to be improved by using tech points, which I suppose brings us to... Tech points are the first of the alternate progression points we get after battles, and one important thing to remember about all of these is that unlike experience points, reserve characters receive none of them. Nada. You want tech points, ether points, or skill points, you gotta fight for them. Tech points are used to improve a character's statistics and tech attacks outside of normal level progression. Now, there's a lot of complicated looking formulas associated with this game, but basically, the higher the stat, the more tech points it takes to increase it. Each stat also has its own base number of points required to increase, so, for example, HP is generally cheaper to increase than EP. One quirk of this system is that you cannot raise a statistic with tech points to be higher than the highest number that any member of your party has. For instance, say Ziggy has 28 strength and that's the highest in our party. That means that all other characters can increase their strength using tech points up to 28, but no higher. Min-maxing in Xenosaga typically involves syncing statistics, delaying level ups of characters with the highest base number in a stat, and using tech points on other characters to match that character's current total. This will cause the characters with lower growth in the statistic to temporarily become the one with the highest when they level before the other, allowing you to use tech points to raise the character with the highest growth. This means that when that character levels up, they'll be an extra point higher than they would be normally. Note that I'm not going to do this in this series because it seems maddening and you really don't need to, but still a neat fact. Tech points can also be used to improve tech attacks. Those attacks we need 6 AP to use in battle. You can actually customize each character's attacks and the routes to get to them provided the range, near or far, matches the slot here. When upgrading a tech attack, you have 3 options: tech, speed, and weight. Tech is the most straightforward and will increase the attack power of the move. Speed is the most expensive because it can only be upgraded once. Doing this will let you set it to the high slot, meaning that tech attack will now be able to be used with 4 AP instead of 6 in battle, skipping the need to wait a turn. Weight will reduce the penalty of using the tech attack on turn order. The lower a tech attack's weight is, the lower on the turn order they'll be for their next turn after using one. In general, boosting most tech attacks to high speed is a good idea. It gives you more options and isn't that expensive of a one-time purchase. Weight is also a good bet if you're going to be using the attack at least some, because it's fairly cheap. Boosting tech, however, is usually best left to late game attacks you know you'll be using for the majority of fights. Tech is expensive and has a lot of levels, and generally, early on, we want to be spending tech points on stats. Skill points work with accessories. Like I've mentioned before, characters have 2 accessory slots, and these accessories have various effects from increasing statistics to reducing certain kinds of damage. Well, all these effects are actually skills, and with skill points, characters can extract these skills from accessories. Each character has 3 skill slots that they can put extracted skills into, essentially allowing them to have the effect of any accessory in the game without actually having it equipped. Skills have differing costs, with more powerful effects costing more skill points, but more powerful accessories also have higher skill levels. To raise a character's skill level, to get access to these accessories, we have to extract lower level skills. I don't know the exact numbers, but that's the basics. Extract skills from low level accessories to get the better ones. Finally, we have ether points. Each character has a branching tree of ether abilities. By selecting an ether, we can use ether points to either evolve or transfer that ability. Evolve is how we get more abilities. This lets you learn a new ether effect while retaining the original, so it's not really an evolution, but whatever. These new ethers also branch off to other new ethers. Transferring an ether does just that, and lets you share the ether ability with another character. There's no catch here, just spend the points, pick the character, and they now have a fully powered version of whatever ether you transfer. This is mostly used to spread healing ability so you aren't screwed if Shion or Momo dies, but you can do some fun things with this. Oh hey, we're at the bridge now, cause we're getting off this backwater.
Xian. 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 Xian, it may already be too late.
Who are you? What do you mean, too late? What's too late?
Ultimately, the choice is up to him. But you may be able to understand him in his final moments. Indeed, that will bring him comfort.
What's going on?
A powerful force is affecting the ship from outside hyperspace.
What does that mean?
Something is trying to come into contact with the ship. If this persists, we will be dragged out of hyperspace.
What's this? I sense...
Huh? What?
Sure you got the right coordinates?
Well, there. Man, look at all of them.
Cosmos! Ultra-wide range helmet effect!
Affirmative.
We're being pulled in!
What?
Where am I? You're all...
I'm glad we're all okay.
Chaos. Where are we?
I'm not sure. I remember we were all engulfed by this light, and then...
Wait a second. This feeling. Yes, I'm sure of it. We're inside a Gnosis.
Inside a Gnosis? Huh?
To be more specific, we are located at the approximate center of a giant Gnosis. This Gnosis is nearly 16,000 kilometers in diameter. To date, the only Gnosis of this size on record is the one named Cathedral Ship.
Does that mean we were eaten?
That may not be far from the truth.
I don't sense any activity from the Gnosis outside. It's almost as if they're sleeping. Hey, what about the Elsa? Where's the captain and everyone else?
Hopefully they too are alive, and in here somewhere.
What is it, Cosmos?
My sensors have picked up a signal.
A signal? Is it the Elsa?
Yes, and something else near it. Although it is faint, I am picking up a waveform similar to the Zohar that was taken from the Woglinde.
The Zohar? You mean that gold-colored object that was in the hangar? That thing's here?
How far is the Elsa from here?
Approximately 10 kilometers from our current position.
Not too far.
Stay here or find the Elsa. I'm worried about Alan and the others.
Looks like we have no choice.
This can't be real. Am I dreaming? Or... It's not possible. Ariadne vanished when the Zohar went out of control. It can't be.
Warning alert in Section D! Distorted wave patterns detected in the quarantine hangar!
Sector D? Is it the Zohar?
Raising attract inhibitor output in all Sector D compartments.
UMN traffic detected across EPR radar. Something's beaming resonant waves through hyperspace. Where is it?
Searching for signal source.
It must be resonating with whatever's out there. Prepare to gate jump! Mary, alert the Foundation! We're gonna follow it.
Roger.